Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
All right, hey everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast. Show where we get hyped
Get hyped
about stuff.
Stuff.
I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm the other one, David Bell. Who do we got here?
Yeah, who the hell is this person?
Drink your water.
Hi. Hello. I'm hyped.
Are you hyped?
My name is Cody, though.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
I'm doing great now that I'm here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm feeling good. My last name is Johnston. I don't know if
It's unnecessary. We don't
Yeah,
have
we'll
to-
write it on the thing.
It's okay. We'll bleep it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Nobody needs to know.
I'm glad you heard my tone. I was like, I hope I don't want to say this.
Don't want people to know I'm doing this. So yeah, should we get to trailers?
Yeah, let's look at some trailers.
Hell yes.
The first one that's on here is the new trailer for the Halloween movie. Halloween.
Yeah.
It's called Halloween.
It
Yeah.
is called Halloween.
It is
It
just
comes
called
out
Halloween.
around Halloween, I believe.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. I was surprised how blatant they were. They're like going all in on it at Halloween.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The very first moment is just kids saying trick or treat, and I was like, "Oh, it's about Halloween.
It's Halloween.
It's a Halloween film
It's a
because they say
Halloween
trick or
movie.
treat at
They
the
really
very
want to milk
beginning."
that Halloween
Yeah.
juice.
I get it now.
Run right into Michael Myers, who
Yeah.
I still am so delighted that because of the timeline of this film, he has to be a dude in his 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, they in the other trailer, they like show him from behind, and he's like balding, and
Yeah,
like
he's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old guy. It's two old people fighting.
Yeah,
Right.
two old people
Yeah,
fighting.
Yeah, it's both of them. They're
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Jamie Lee is in her 60s now.
Yeah.
So
I hope it's a real slow fight too. Like I hope they just they both need to keep taking breaks.
I think it looks like he's going to have like shocking old man strength.
yeah,
It does
Like-
seem like that. Yeah.
I like in the trailer that one shot.
I like
of
the one
following
yeah.
him down.
Yeah.
That one shot made me be like, okay, I have total faith in this movie now.
Yeah, it seems cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not very familiar with like the Halloween franchise.
Mhm.
I think I've seen Halloween once
I
a long
think-
time ago.
I think that's all you have to have seen for this film.
I think so too.
Yeah.
This film seems to be
It-
ignoring all the sequels.
It's ignoring Halloween 2 as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
The first Halloween was like it was scary. It's like a slasher film, like it as opposed to the rest of them that they just become like more about just watching him kill
Right. It
things in
becomes
creative
gore
ways and
kinda
stuff like
and-
that.
Yeah.
And it's definitely nice to see them kind of bring it back to like I think I said this on this before. The other trailer made me legitimately like kind of scared of Michael Myers again,
Mm.
which is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it just seems like cool and scary, and like what knowing very little about the franchise, watching the trailer, it escalates, and then she's like, "Because I'm gonna fucking kill him," or like
Yeah.
whatever her line is. Like, I want to see this movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Sarah Connor, basically, but like with
Basically,
Mike
yeah.
Myers.
Yeah. She
Very
says
into
I've been praying for years that he would escape
yeah.
so I can fucking
Yeah,
kill
so
him.
good.
I guess that's
Like, I can say I do not care about Halloween,
Right.
Right.
but I want to see this.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I do really like the original film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen hardly any of the sequels though.
Yeah.
So
I like a lot of the sequels. I think it's The Curse of Michael Myers. There's one where they repeat where it's his niece and he's going after her and
that's
she's little.
part 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. That's the one. Who's in that? That's not the one with Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's in the 5th one.
Yeah,
I
Paul
think. Oh no,
Rudd's-
wait, Paul Rudd's in
No,
the
he was-
6th
The
one.
sixth one.
But yeah, Paul Rudd's
And I-
first starring role is the
Yeah.
6th
Wow.
Halloween film.
Does he look like he does now?
It came out the same year as Clueless, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
He looks,
yeah.
okay.
So he,
He
looks
looks
like
exactly
Ant-Man.
the same.
Yeah.
He's not aging.
And then I still like H2O, which is what this is basically doing again, because that was when Jamie Lee Curtis returned to fight Michael Myers.
Right.
So like I think the franchise had some good moments in it.
But is H2O not count either?
No,
nothing.
It sort of can't, because in that one she's faked her death and she has an adult son who is Josh Hartnett.
Her large adult.
It was Josh Hartnett's
large adult
first role.
I think. Well, it was the same year as The Faculty.
It says introducing Josh Hartnett.
Okay,
That's
cool.
The Faculty's so much better.
Probably.
I don't know.
No, The Faculty's pretty.
I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen it in a long time.
That's Robert Rodriguez. I always forget that. That's
and Kevin Williamson's script, right?
Is it?
Oh,
I believe so. I think it was his follow-up to Scream. Faculty is hilarious.
I was big into The Faculty.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Fucking Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Jon Stewart is a
Stabbing the eye with a pen.
P.V. Newirth.
Oh man,
all the greats. One thing I wish that Halloween did, this new Halloween, it's the same title as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Rob Zombie remake. It's going to get very confusing
Yeah.
after a while.
One thing I wish they did is have Mike Myers wear a bleached Chris Pine mask.
Oh, that would be great.
Like, just a little bit. Like, you wouldn't even necessarily been able to tell.
Right.
But they would know.
Yeah. But
That
we
would be-
would all know.
We would know.
Yeah.
We would
Yeah.
know.
Have you guys seen the I saw it online. It was probably like some meme or something. The Halloween Sheldon mask. Like when you see it, it's like, oh, that's the new Michael Myers mask. Like it's a serial killer face.
Oh.
And like someone needs to make a horror movie where they just paint that white and then it's just like bam. Not
I think,
just
I
Sheldon.
think Jim Parsons himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
as
can
a
totally
mask,
see it.
it's
Like I'm picturing a
horrifying.
vinyl mask version of Jim Parsons' face, and it looks like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Happy
more-
Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
God.
Just says Bazinga
Right.
over and over, like
Yeah.
stabbing people to death.
Actually. I've never seen an episode. I don't know if they
Neither have I. Yeah.
I've only seen the clips where people take out the laugh
Take out the
track.
laugh track, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Most
Yeah.
awkward conversation in the world.
I love where they do it with friends too, because it's like it's just like a room full of people being vicious to
Just
each
the
other.
meanest people in the
Yeah.
world who love each other.
Especially Chandler's a fucking dick.
Right. And it works well because it still looks like it's in front of an audience, but the audience is horrified and
Yeah,
just not
they're just
making
all
any
silent
noise.
because they're really feeling the suffering of.
Right.
These
It's not.
friends.
It doesn't feel like silence. It feels like people going silent.
Yeah.
It's like when you hit that age and realize that Charlie Brown is a tragic character.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right around 13,
Yeah.
reading Peanuts, you're like, oh, this isn't funny.
Nobody fucking likes this kid.
Poor
This
kid.
kid's gonna hang himself.
Should we move to the next one?
Yeah, probably.
It's the trailer for the new season of House of Cards.
They're just like
they're just like he's dead.
Robin
He's
Wright is looking
dead.
right at the camera like he's fucking dead.
Man, like that show's always been really on the nose with the commentary and like the looking at the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
They really went all out with this. They did
Yeah.
unashamedly. Just
Nope.
like, no, this is the show. We're very hammy and we're letting you know. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Right. Does anybody caught up with the show?
Trash. I
Anybody
have
watched it?
never watched it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the past like 2 seasons.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard. You can't really catch up with it anymore.
Yeah.
I caught up with it. Like I watched it right before everything came out
that
with Kevin
Spacey
Spacey,
stuff.
and it's shockingly convenient. It's as if they knew it was coming.
Oh, interesting.
Because they sort of set up at the last episode of the last season is basically this happening without him dying. It's Robin Wright basically becoming president or like being in charge, and then like it's basically a scandal against him in the. So it's very
she steps
easy.
in.
Yeah, it's like it's very. They were setting up like a war between them, but I think they're just going to be like, and she won.
Right.
She won.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's in the ground.
yeah.
Yeah, I think because I know the original series it's based on only went for like 3 seasons, and the Frank character was assassinated, I believe.
And I believe his wife had something like I think they were doing the same
Yeah.
plot points as the
It just
original.
happened to work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was lucky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
now
not
they're
gonna be
going-
like-
Yeah, I think they're going beyond now what was in the original.
Right.
Because I think
it
it.
seemed like that in the show. Like she was, they're both people that want power.
Right.
And,
Mhm.
they have a lot of conflicts, and eventually it's going to come down to one or the other.
Right.
And I having not seen the show and just like recaps and summaries and stuff, he's a murderer.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
So I assume
He's very much. A
I
murderer.
mean,
I assume she
I don't know if-
is.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but she isn't for a while.
I mean, I've definitely seen the clip where he shoves Kate Mara in front of a train.
Yeah,
he murders.
her,
I think
murders earlier on.
I think only 2 people. Like he murders 2 people in like the first couple seasons, and then after that, he figures out how to not murder people and like have other people murder people.
Oh,
nice.
gross.
Like presidents.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Classic president move.
It's a I kind of want to say it's a good show. It's hard because Kevin Spacey's in it now, so it's hard to watch.
Well, Kevin Spacey was in good movies.
Yes, but
So-
right.
I don't
Yeah,
want to say it's good. It's kind of trashy. Like it's a
little trashy.
soap opera with the president. You know, they have like threesomes with a Secret Service agent.
Yeah,
and
like I've
stuff.
heard it's real over the top.
Yes,
It can get very over the top, and the narration still bothers me. Like it never stopped
With his
bothering me.
Foghorn Leghorn voice.
Just exactly,
yeah.
and like all the the puns and the looking at the camera, and it's very hammy.
yes.
Which I mean works for him. I think aside from a few roles, I think Spacey like leans into that.
Yeah.
He's,
Mhm.
like be a very hammy performer.
Yeah.
So I guess it worked.
Yeah.
I guess everything worked out for everybody.
I hope they do a similar. Like I've seen some really excellent tweets about it, but I hope they do a similar thing with the Connors.
I mean, they're going to
They
kill her,
have
right?
to. They have to.
Yeah, I think I saw something maybe a week ago or so that was like, yeah, the new Connor, she's dead.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah, John Goodman said that. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Connors.
The Connors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's either dead or I don't know what.
I saw a really great tweet, and I can't remember who said it, so I apologize to them. But it was like the episode one of the Connors. Like Jackie walks in, "Hey Dan, how's it going?" "Well, not too great. We just got back from our trip to the Grand Canyon, and Roseanne fell in." I'm fucking it up. It was phrased a lot more funny than that, but it was just like such a.
What a reversal!
Right,
Because
yeah.
they killed off Dan in the original show.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went far off
I
the
thought
rails.
didn't it turn out to be like a dream? They won the lottery or something? Or-
That's the dream.
That's the dream. The series was the dream. She was in like a mental hospital, and Dan had
what happened was
left her years ago.
No,
and-
I had watched it to this point actually. I remember as a kid, there's an episode where Dan has a heart attack and he makes it through and he survives, and then the series keeps going and then it goes off the rails, and like Jackie marries a prince, and they win the lottery, and she becomes like a spy. Like the last season's insane.
yeah.
And then the last thing is the reveal that all that was a hallucination because Dan actually died when he
Okay.
had that heart attack, and she went crazy,
Mhm.
and now she's in a mental institution.
How did they
They
bridge
did-
that gap?
They did
They
it in a joke. I remember they showed
Oh,
it in the trailers for this season of Roseanne, where like they're sitting in bed and Roseanne's like, "Oh, I had the weirdest dream that like you died and we won the lottery and Jackie married a prince," and he's like, "Huh, well that's weird." And he just goes back to reading the
Man.
paper.
Honestly, in terms of
That's funny,
canon,
but,
that's
like,
That's about the best thing you can do.
well, that's as good as the reveal in the original.
Yeah.
Like it's like
right, it's just another layer. Of,
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about that
yeah.
because you got to do the show.
yeah.
He's got to be in it. I
Mhm.
get it. So I guess what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like that season of Dallas. That was all a dream.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's only it has to happen.
Yeah, there's not really a way around it.
The worst episode I ever saw.
Unless
with
Dan
this-
was a zombie.
Yeah.
They could have opened this. They could have opened the reboot series with him punching his way up through the grave.
Yeah. The worst episode I saw of this was, I think, an episode of Baywatch where they go skydiving. And I forget who the characters are. I didn't really watch Baywatch. It was just like on when I was a kid. And the guy gets into an accident skydiving, goes in the hospital, I believe, and dies. And it's this big thing. And then it cuts back and they're still on the plane. And the guy's just like, why am I fantasizing about this terrible thing that could happen? Anyway, and then like that's the episode. It wasn't even a dream.
Yeah,
It
that's
was a
bad television,
daydream.
yeah.
And it was like, fuck you, Baywatch.
Yeah, that's like bad television.
Yeah, that's
where it's like we're getting people to watch how crazy. That's a little bit different than trying to start a reboot and being like, well, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be a dream. Because then it's like, well, we're going to take the characters in all these crazy directions, and like fans of the show be like, wow, I can't believe they're doing all this, and then at the end you're like, fuck you, it was a dream.
Yeah.
That's I guess Community kind of did that.
Community. I liked how with the gas leak, they just sort of.
Oh, I loved that.
Oh, the gas leak
yeah.
season where Dan Harmon was gone.
Yeah.
But in the last episode of that season with the paintball again, where it was like it got like a little futuristic and other reality.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
like is Jeff's dream, obviously, but like, come on, like we don't need
Yeah.
need that. But I love that they're like, yeah, we were all like high on gas
Yeah.
for a year.
It's a great
Dan
solution.
Harmon.
Should we keep going?
Yeah.
Assassination Nation. I've only just heard about this.
Speaking of Community, kind of.
Why?
He's in it, right? Jeff?
I thought I saw him.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I think
I
he's
thought
in
I
it.
saw Joel McHale.
Yeah, he was in like for a second of it.
Right. I'm very interested in this movie, but I can't quite tell what it's about.
Well, from what I can tell is it's a group of teenage girls, and this town they're in. This is just going from the trailer and like some of the synopsises I've read. Like all the town's information gets leaked or something, and then it gets blamed on one of these teenage girls. And it's a town. I think it's called Salem, the town.
I think so. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's about like a witch hunt against
that
this
seems-
girl, like who everybody blames for releasing all their private social media information. And I feel like this could have a really interesting message. Like it could have a lot of neat things to say about this subject.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I think you're right. I think it's potentially very cool and like about a lot of stuff we see more and more of.
Right.
Weirdly, speaking of Community, there's literally an episode of Community where like all their emails get hacked and leaked, and then they like experience the fallout of that. But I think it is that there's like then like 2/3 of the movie is just like, what does the town do?
Yeah, and
when it's everybody.
It seems to become the Purge. Like that's
Well, they have a tagline in there that's like it's Heathers meets the Purge, and I'm like, I'm on board for that.
Sounds...
Looks super violent.
Yeah,
it's very violent. Very graphic.
Yeah, but it seems like what happens is the town is literally like mobilizing against this group of girls, and they have to fight back.
Yeah, which sounds delightful.
Sure,
like super fun ride.
I'll watch that goddamn movie.
Yeah,
looks delightful.
And I guess this isn't quite it, but there's that whole genre of like sociopath girls. Like there's Final Girls, I think that movie's called. I haven't seen that. Thoroughbreds, which I haven't seen, and I hear it's fucking great. Jawbreaker, which is terrific.
Obviously,
obviously Heathers. Yeah.
It's a weird genre.
Mean Girls without the murder.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, basically. Although I think Slater's kind of the maniac in
I haven't seen that in a while, but yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the pusher.
Yeah. Oh man, it's funny to watch Heathers. Well, not funny, but it's like jarring to watch Heathers now.
Right, it's not a film you make now.
Right, he's just casually pulls like I forget now. But it's in the wake of Columbine, it's real like good God.
It's
like,
very much that.
How many like
Columbine in a decade of
right
shooting every other week.
Yeah, that wasn't the only one. That movie would never be made now. And I mean, they tried to do a show.
I think so, yeah.
But it was like weirdly like all the people that like were the like it was like lesbians and transgender students and like people of color, and like they were the ones who were doing it. Where it's like, but no, they are bullied.
Wait, they were the bullies? Yeah, those classic high school bullies of transgender students.
A weird take, and I think it was not successful.
Yeah, statistically, not the bullies.
And
not the people who shoot up schools.
Yeah. That sounds like
and maybe let's not promote
a hardcore conservative or something. Being like, the PC police are taking over our schools.
It was
Good God.
I mean, at least the original one figured out. It's like, no, it would be a dude that looks like Christian Slater.
No. The real bullies are the ones who say, please don't bully me.
Yeah.
Those are the real bullies. Trying to tell us who we can and can't bully.
I miss when Christian Slater was the bad boy in high. Like, I'm just thinking of this in Pump Up the Volume.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, did he do anything else? Pump Up the Volume you guys remember Pump Up the Volume?
Oh yeah,
where he plays a pirate radio DJ.
Definitely.
Oh, it's great.
What? No.
Oh, it's great.
It's a pretty sweet movie.
It's in like a 90s movie where he's just like this edgy DJ on local radio, and the cops are trying to shut him down, and the high school thinks he's dangerous.
Well, partially because the movie opens with him taking calls from people, and he takes a call from this kid who's thinking about killing himself.
Yes, and he
he's
doesn't
like,
tell him
convince me not to do it, and he's like,
he goes on a rant.
He's like, I can't really tell you that anything's going to get any better. And then the kid ends up killing himself. And so they're all blaming his pirate radio show.
And then this girl blows up she lights her house on fire.
Yeah, it's
because
Samantha
of it.
Mathis, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. No, that's the love interest. No, like one of the... Yeah, the kids are doing like rebellious things. Like one girl puts all her makeup in the microwave and sets the house on fire and shit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So yeah, it is kind of a concern.
What a weird like era of
Very,
movies of just like, what if like teens just like burned it all down?
Yeah.
What if teens lost their mind?
Like, oh man. Christian Slater specifically too.
Yeah. Well, he had that look, I guess.
And
He was doing Nicholson even in Pump Up the Volume.
Yes.
Like
he's always been sort of dime store Nicholson.
And like, but like as the devil on your shoulder kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because even now in Mr. Robot, like that's
the
role
character.
too.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that. I need to see.
It's good.
The
It's
Mr.
pretty good.
Robot. Yeah.
Ryan Malick's good.
Who is the Mr. Robot?
Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is the titular Mr.
Does he play
Robot.
like Greg Robot?
They just call him Mr. Robot.
Oh, okay.
He does
Wow.
a really good voice.
He does a robot voice.
He does not. Does he?
I am Robo Slater.
Only hilarious show. No, he does not.
Damn it. I was getting really excited.
No, it's not the silliest thing you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
But he
I'll
does
check it
play.
out.
He is Mr. Robot.
Okay. So this next one's called The Favorite. It is...
I sort of like the way this looks.
I warmed up to it pretty quickly.
Most people are going to like it. I have one problem with it.
Yeah.
And that is that it's the director and writer of The Lobster, a movie that I really didn't like.
Oh.
But most people did. Most people really liked The Lobster. I didn't like The
Is
Lobster.
that Dogtooth too?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Killing of a Sacred Deer, which I haven't seen yet, but I hear it's really good.
Okay. I've only seen Dogtooth.
Okay.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dogtooth. Everybody says I should see Dogtooth.
Especially if you didn't like The Lobster, because
Yeah.
I imagine it's way better.
Okay, yeah. The Lobster to me felt like a 20-minute short film that they extended to like 2 hours. Did anybody see The Lobster? You didn't?
I
haven't
haven't seen any of this guy's movies.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend Dogtooth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see that.
So yeah, this is probably a very good film.
I liked the look of the idea of doing kind of like a dark screwball comedy that's set in like Victorian times.
Yeah, sounds great. like
I want to see Rachel Weisz do slapstick.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a slapstick movie.
Yeah.
But like there's also some menace to it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's dark slapstick.
Yeah, it's
Because as soon as I saw, I was like, The Favorite. Oh, they spelled it like that. Oh, it's
Yeah.
about a queen. But then like, as soon as the trailer hit, I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, here
I'm
we go.
into this.
is good.
I'm into this. The Queen looks great. It's basically Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone are competing for the Queen's affection, basically.
Yeah. Emma Stone's laugh at the end
With the
is
snort. Oh my god.
amazing.
That was so fucking
Like
good.
it should win an award
Yeah.
for like funniest moment in a trailer. It's so good.
It's really
She's
it's a perfect button for the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, this
I'm
looks-
thinking about it now. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
This is getting a lot of buzz. I was going to put it on movies that deserve more hype, mainly because what you said, where someone said to me, like, hey, I'm excited for The Favorite, and I just looked at a poster, and I was like, no. Like,
Yeah.
like Victorian.
Snooze fest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then the trailer, it's fucking great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So anybody who's... people should all seek the trailer.
Definitely
And it looks
watch
like,
the
again, it's
trailer,
getting
yeah.
like a couple million hits now. It's like it just came out. So I
Yeah.
think people know what's up.
And what's
Especially-
the main actress's name?
Olivia Colman?
She
Yeah.
played Sophie on Peep Show.
Yeah.
She's so good.
She's very good.
Right, as soon as
She was in Hot Fuzz.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, I knew her, but I
Her
couldn't
and Peep Show is fucking...
I couldn't remember where
so
I'd
good.
seen her in.
And like Mitchell Webb, she's on a lot.
Oh, word.
And as soon as I saw her, I was like, "You're not in this movie." And
Yeah.
then I found out what the movie's like.
Yeah.
Okay, you belong here.
I'm really happy
Blind
that...
Queen.
Because I feel like she's always kind of been... played side characters and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be really nice for more people to know her.
She plays a lot of like Catherine O'Hara style roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
But all British.
All right.
British,
But all British
Catherine
and
O'Hara.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for trailers. There wasn't much this week.
Yeah, I guess
It's-
not. I did see a
it's been
trailer
a-
for USA is doing a Purge miniseries that I had no idea was happening.
Oh, that's out. I think the first episode is
Yeah.
out.
Purge miniseries?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
a miniseries?
Didn't they just do a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're
Yeah, it's like
they're all out.
Yeah.
an 8 or 10 episode series.
I thought it was like an ongoing series.
It
yeah.
may be an ongoing series, but yeah, it's the fucking Purge.
Do you know
the
like
Purge.
the premise beyond just like it's a purge? or-
The trailer I
people
saw
purging.
just looks like the.
Just
It's not like
longer
this is how the
purge. Yeah.
Purge started.
My-
or anything. It's just like
Guessing
The Purge.
just based off if I had to make one of these, I'm assuming every episode's from a different perspective of the same Purge. That's what I'm just assuming.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like. It looks like there's a lot of characters.
Okay, yeah.
then yeah.
So yeah,
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Because it's
And
fucking
that's not
the
a bad,
Purge.
and that's not a bad idea.
No, not at all.
The Purge is not a bad
All right,
idea.
and you
It just-
can't do that with a movie.
I never
so-
saw the
yeah.
first Purge. I saw the election. I've seen all. I've been up to date with the Purges except for the newest one.
I've seen 0 purges.
Really?
Yeah.
They're interesting. They're different than you assume. The first one, you think it's like a home invasion movie,
Mhm.
and then you watch it and you realize, like, oh, it's a dystopian film. Like it's
Yeah.
like Hunger Games.
I'm way more into that idea.
That was the slow creep because it looked like it was that, and then you realize like it's a night where everybody can kill everybody. Then you realize like, oh, but the rich people have a way to not get killed, and then
Right,
it
right,
slowly dawns on you like, oh, they're only killing poor people,
Right,
And like, and then it's yeah,
The main thrust is it's a team of country club white kids
Chasing
hunting
a-
a black guy,
a homeless
a
black
homeless
veteran.
black veteran.
Yeah.
Jesus
So
Christ.
it's like-
And that's yeah, it's
That's like way
really-
smarter than I thought the Purge
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
it's-
it's not perfectly executed. I think the Purge is a really good idea that has yet
But yeah, it's
to,
trying.
yeah,
it's.
yet to be really, really perfectly.
I think the
executed.
problem with the Purge is that it's stuck also having to be like. I think its fan base is people who don't necessarily care about that and just more want to see like cool like fighting people in weird fucked up costumes fighting and killing each other.
Right.
So they have to sort of they've been trying to be both, where they like still talk about the class stuff and like it's still like dystopian, but there's still always they have to like reserve some of each movie to have people dress up in fucked up costumes
Yeah.
and kill each other.
Right, like kind of like that sort of I'm gonna generalize here, but like a specific kind of Rick and Morty fan. It's
Right.
like, you don't get what it's about.
Right.
You just think it's funny and you think Rick is the best.
Right, you think Rick is the coolest.
Yeah.
Right. And like, no, okay, so you just think the Purge is cool. You
Yeah, right.
you like the idea of the Purge.
Right.
You want a Purge,
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, let's do a Purge,
Let's
as
do
opposed to like, oh wow, interesting like perspective to like
Yeah.
put through
Yeah.
like if we look at class through this lens, it's like,
Right.
no, you just want to purge around.
Right.
Yeah, I want to put some nails in a bat.
Right.
That said, I don't
if you're
trust.
smart, treat people like shit. Yeah, great read of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're awesome, man. Great. Yeah, Pickle Rick. Awesome.
What are they going to do? They have how many episodes they have
They
to
have
make?
7 seasons.
70.
Yeah.
70 episodes.
I'm hoping they recognize that issue with a lot of their fans and like sort of address it, or like point to it a little bit, or like or like speak to them a little more softly and like help them along the way.
That would be nice.
I mean, they started to this past season where there's a few episodes that are like, Rick is bad.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
And is harming the family. Like,
We're not gonna call the show that now, but we almost did. Rick and his family that he's ruining
right. Yeah.
because he's a bad person.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we should move on to stories.
News stories?
I guess?
You guys, Burt Reynolds died.
No. The bandit.
Burt died.
Mm.
Is he the one who is avocado farming, or is that?
That's Tom Selleck.
I always get them
Mm.
confused.
He's another very famous mustache.
Yeah.
Very
They
famous
both.
mustache.
They're both all.
In law enforcement, like sort of
Yeah.
like
Burt Reynolds was Deliverance.
guns and mustaches.
Guns and mustaches. Burt Reynolds was always on the outside of the law, I feel like,
Yeah.
in his roles.
He was
Right,
Deliverance,
vigilantism
though, right?
and then
Yeah.
law enforcement. Yeah.
I remember that story. I think it was Burt Reynolds in Deliverance. It was the one who has to go over the waterfall. Like they nearly killed an actor filming Deliverance because there's a scene where he has to go over a waterfall.
Yeah, I believe it was. I think
I don't-
it's Ronnie Cox.
Is
not
it?
him.
Oh, okay. And he just like basically drowned, and they had to like rescue him.
I could be wrong. It may
I don't know.
very well be
They did
Burt
all their own
Reynolds.
stunts in Deliverance, right? That
Yeah.
was the one. Yeah, you don't want to do like a rafting movie and do all your own stunts.
Right. No one in the River Wild is like, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
yeah. The River Wild David Strathairn wasn't like, let me handle
Right.
this.
I got this. I've been training all year.
Yeah. Meryl Streep wasn't like, hang on, kids. I've got this.
I'm gonna commit.
although I wish she did.
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
excited for a River Wild reference.
Yeah, fucking River Wild.
Yeah.
What I barely Kevin Bacon's bad guy in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember someone giving smoke signals in it.
Mhm.
It's David Strathairn.
Strathairn.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's the husband who
He
they think he's dead.
he's dead. Yeah.
But no, he helps.
And why do they need them to use their boat? Why can't they just
making
walk?
some getaway or I don't know.
Yeah, they robbed something.
Yeah,
and they murdered somebody or like some crime stuff.
This
Yeah.
feels
and
like
they need her to navigate the river because she's like the best there is.
Yeah.
this feels like a cliffhanger situation.
It is.
where it's like there's probably better ways to do this.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna
Well,
watch the
cliffhanger,
show.
they crashed.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it though. River Wild.
Yeah.
Remember why? Wait,
Solid
was,
film,
was
yeah.
it Kevin Bacon's plan? Sorry, I'm like, was he like, okay, we're gonna rob this bank and then we're gonna go hijack some
I
boats?
can't remember.
It's
Some,
unclear.
like,
Yeah, I don't know if
rafts.
they planned it or if they were like, "What do we do? Oh, I recognize her as the
Yeah.
real good whitewater rafter."
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, you'll have to
Sounds
watch
like
it,
an
man.
investigation needs to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds.
That's the career of
He
Burt
passed.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Old Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Another Community reference, kind of. Pierce dressed as Burt Reynolds. Everyone thought he's Brando.
Wait, what?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Just
It's all-
making Community references.
Oh,
over
okay.
and over.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's yeah.
This
This episode dedicated to the work of Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon.
yeah. He was about to film. He hadn't filmed his part in Quentin Tarantino's Manson movie yet. So
Oh,
they're gonna have to
shit.
recast that.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Mm.
would have been
It's a
nice to
shame.
see him in one last movie.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's like probably a good movie.
Yeah, because he hasn't been in a movie in a while. I don't think.
What was his last movie?
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was Boogie Nights. That's
But that's been
That's the
That's
last,
been a
like,
while.
big one.
but that's like
20
the
years,
last
yeah.
one I can like clear. I'm sure he's been in stuff since then.
probably. I mean, he was in a new
He didn't-
Bull film in the Name of the King.
Didn't he not
Oh.
like? Oh, gotta watch that.
It's very funny.
Yeah, that has Jason Statham in
Jason Statham, Matthew
it. It's an
Lillard,
Uwe Boll movie with Matthew Lillard and Jason
Ray Liotta
Statham.
plays an evil wizard. and
Yeah,
he's just dressed like modern day Ray Liotta
You need to tell me
He's-
the name of this movie again.
in the Name of the King.
Oh my god.
He's
what?
wearing a leather jacket,
yeah. It's Ray Liotta
but
being
like,
like, "I'll
Ray
be in your
Liotta's
movie."
leather jacket.
Yeah,
I'll be in
like a
the
pack
movie,
of
but can I
cigarettes
wear
coming
this?
out.
I'm just gonna wear my own clothes from home.
Yeah. That reminds me of still in that movie, the Cell with Samuel Jackson and John Cusack,
Yeah,
where it's a Stephen King
very bad-
adaptation, but
very bad movie.
clearly didn't have money. But there's scenes where they're just holding glasses of alcohol, and it really feels like they're just holding them. Like it really feels
They're,
like
like,
the actors.
rehearsing.
Yeah, like they didn't put the glasses down.
Right, when they say action, we'll do the scene again. We'll like put our stuff away.
Daniel Craig continuing to delay the next Bond film by signing up for Ryan
Ryan.
Johnson's
You know how to say
next
his name.
film.
Rain.
Rian.
Ryan Johnson's next film, which is apparently like a spy thriller thing.
It's
or
a mystery. He said it's like a single room Agatha Christie style mystery, which I'm legit excited.
Yeah,
to
I
see.
much rather see that than a
great.
James
Yeah.
Bond film.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like fucking. They say it's going to be more like Brick. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
Yeah. He's good at making movies,
yeah.
and he'll be good in it.
He'll be good at making that movie.
I'm happy to see him make, because that was the fucking thing when he made Layer Cake. It was like, look at this fucking guy and his career, and then he became Bond, and it was like, that's cool, and then he continued to be Bond.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was like, oh, let's stop,
Well,
please.
he did do that Logan Lucky movie.
Did you see it?
No, I heard it wasn't good.
I
so
saw
I didn't watch it.
it. I saw Logan.
So
Lucky.
I
To be fair, he didn't do that piece of shit.
He
so-
was
Well, it wasn't a really stupid
Yeah.
movie.
he was pretty good in it. The movie itself is it's not bad, it's just aggressively forgettable as a film.
Yeah, it'll be nice to watch a Rian Johnson movie that's not a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great team up.
Looper was
Or
his
even
last
like,
one.
yeah, it's like even like without sci-fi, like
Mhm.
just like a straight like
Mm.
real world movie.
Yeah.
Everything about the next Bond movie's failure makes me happy, because it's also the same with they're like, we're gonna get Danny Boyle to direct, and it's like, oh, can't Danny Boyle direct something else better? And then Danny Boyle's like, you're right, I'm gonna go, and they're like, everybody's just scattered.
He like heard you. It's like, why can't Danny Boyle
Yeah.
direct something else?
These poor Bond
Just
producers.
left.
I don't have to make
Yeah.
James Bond.
Oh man.
I almost feel bad for the Bond producers because they just want this so bad, but like they're not reading
Just
the room.
fucking hire a new Bond man. He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just reboot
Right,
it
he
again.
doesn't even like the character.
Yeah,
He thinks he's bad.
What's to like?
yeah, he is bad.
Right. Like
Yeah.
He is a bad
He's a
person.
bad man.
He is a monster.
Oh man.
So the Oscars new category, most popular film.
Yep.
Turns out they're not going to do it this for 2019
because the award for that is lots of money already.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, their reasoning for it is baffling to me because they're like, well, it's already 9 months in, so like it would be unfair to the films that have already come out. I'm like, they all still made like your criteria is being popular. It's not like
They all
movies
still
were going to
came
make an
out.
effort to be more popular to win this award.
just look at how many people watched the movie.
yeah, that's all
It's
you
not
do.
a worthy. Why? Like, it's insane that they even tried to do this.
Yes.
It's their way of not giving Academy Awards. It's a way of not giving the Best Picture award to genre films.
Right, they wanted to give Black Panther an award,
Yeah.
but like they're
But-
like, well, we can't. But I guess because it's popular, like no.
I
just,
heard-
like, either give it an award,
Yeah.
or don't give an award.
I
for
heard-
most people saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Apparently, Black Panther is still pushing for Best Picture too, which I really
Sure.
like.
It should.
Where they're like, "We'll give you most popular," and they're like, "Fuck you."
No, we want the best.
Yeah.
We want the real award.
Right.
No, and they also
You
said in this
dicks.
release, they're saying that we're also still accepting like input about this,
Love that.
and it's like, oh yeah, you read the internet,
right, you read the internet and you're like, well, we'll say that it's because it's too late.
Yeah,
But we're also accepting feedback, and clearly this isn't going to happen because we now
Right.
know that it was a terrible
Yeah.
idea. We're so sorry.
I
This
want.
is a stupid and bad idea.
I feel like this is going to get downgraded to the like in memoriam where they'll just do a slideshow of like here's the best, because that's all you kind of need is like here's the best.
Well, like, what do you
Grossing
vote
things?
on? Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's literally
Right, it's
just,
not a vote. People voted already with their money.
Yeah.
And you can tally up those votes.
With them sweet, sweet dollars.
Like-
The problem is, of course, the Oscars is not making money.
Mhm.
Their ratings are down, which can be said about literally everything on
Right.
TV.
Right.
And then that's sort
Nobody
of
watches live television
Yeah.
anymore.
like I watch the Oscars every year. I don't think they'll know because I watch it on like some streaming thing,
Right.
because they have like a streaming service that you have to pay for to go watch it, and I'll just find something else. But like, yeah, this is both like
It just,
Yeah, hard pass on that.
Like,
Like, don't need
bro, stream it for free
And
and,
now they're
put ads on it. Like
shortening
regular TV.
yeah,
man.
they're shortening it, and it's like that's not the solution either. Like,
yeah.
Just make it. I mean, make it better.
yeah, just make it better.
Have people that are handing out awards already on stage before they start speaking.
Right.
Have one host who is actually in it more, who like does host
Yeah.
stuff. Because like really, it's the host's job is to do like whatever their 10-minute bit is. Do a bunch of jokes in the first half hour, and then they step away.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
very not present in,
Yeah,
in
that's
the
true.
majority of it.
And like take more risks as host. I loved it when Chris Rock was the host.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was fucking wild. I want a host that just insults the people there, because that's the
Yeah.
other problem is that
Right.
they're insufferable.
There's too much
Like,
reverence for
yeah.
what they do and who they are, and
They
like
need
That
to be
fucking
taken
line
down.
where it's like where he's talking to Tim Robbins, and he was like an actor who's entertaining us with his films when he's not boring us to death with his politics.
Yeah, that's what they need. We don't
good,
need
yeah.
like I like Ellen, but we don't need that like we're all gonna take a selfie and it's like that's look how spontaneous. Like what was it?
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel recently was
I
doing
think-
them.
I think Kimmel did. Yeah, last year maybe.
Yeah, and again they do the like we're being spontaneous. We're taking regular people and bring them into the theater. They keep doing that
Right,
over
by-
and over
by
again.
Verizon, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's just it feels so fucking fake.
right. It is because it is so very much is.
Yeah.
and like even like professional, talented Hollywood actors can't sell that.
Yeah.
Like we know you're full of shit. We know
Yeah.
why you're here. So get someone to take the piss out of them. Like even like I'm
Yeah.
not like a huge Ricky Gervais fan, but like he was mean to people, and I'm into that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
real
yeah.
mean to people, but
And-
like, don't do the thing that Kimmel did, where he spends like a minute making fun of Mahershala Ali's name.
Right,
Right,
like,
right.
like real stuff.
Don't do
like,
that.
Have some substance,
Yeah,
and also like, especially nowadays,
Just more Chris Rock.
people criticize Hollywood from all sides because they're full of shit.
Mhm.
And like obviously, I don't know, like even make jokes about all of the sexual assault going on, like point to that kind
Right.
of stuff, like really. And when someone's up there doing a really like whether it's a hypocritical speech about like politics or something, when they're up their own ass, make fun of that too.
Yeah.
Like have like
Yeah.
the lights. I don't know. Do some bit.
Yeah, if fucking don't let Casey Affleck get on stage and start talking about change in Hollywood.
Right.
Don't let him get away with that.
Don't let him
shit.
do that. Any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think Casey-
like talking about gun. Like if someone goes up and talks about gun violence, be like, then stop making movies that glorify it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And
point
stop
to the real
shooting all the
problem.
guns, Jason Bourne.
Right.
Like,
Not how you solve problems.
so yeah,
It's Chris Rock.
yeah.
Chris Rock.
Or just get Chris Rock.
Let's get Chris Rock in there.
Dave Bautista wanted his own Drax movie, but he also says he's not going to play Drax.
Right, now he's
Or he
never
might
gonna
not
play Drax again.
Right.
Right.
I mean, Guardians 3 is on indefinite hold.
Yeah.
He's like, he has been
It's just
so
falling apart.
vocally angry with Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's like, fuck you guys.
I
And
mean-
that's saying something, because the only reason he has a career right now is because of Guardians. So like, out of the
Absolutely,
people
yeah.
in the
Right.
cast, he's like the person taking the biggest risk.
Mm-hmm.
But good for him.
Yeah.
Whether or not you agree with him, it's like it's nice to see him like just take a hard fucking stance
Yeah.
on this.
Right, the character that like everyone will associate with him forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like who like I wasn't big into the comics, but like he is that character. He's the best part of those movies. He's the funniest part of those movies, I think.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fine, I'll never do it again. Best thing that's ever happened for my career.
Yeah,
Never gonna do it again.
Never gonna do it again, man. Because like, yeah, like having the whole cast sign that letter. It's like, yeah, that's nice, but like Bradley Cooper signing a letter, he's not really
Right.
He's
And
not putting anything.
And
on.
he's gonna do the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
like that dude's not risking anything.
Right. Someone wrote a thing like passing it around on set,
Yeah.
you know?
It's always held on as
They're
not
risking
anything.
They're risking like a very good paycheck.
Yeah, but
But-
like
Sure.
they'll have all those actors.
He's
like
got
them,
all that
Chris
as-
Pratt. Like they're all
yeah.
gonna have other
Yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah, the fucking Bradley Cooper's got that hot A Star Is Born money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His directing career that's taken off.
He directed it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm.
There's a
Direct-
shit.
Direct a movie without yourself in it once, like,
Come on, dude.
because those movies turn out well.
Yeah,
Usually.
usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like Ben Affleck, like he's not a bad director, but like when he's in movies, just like don't do it. Just like don't be in the movies.
I mean, Argo's pretty good.
Argo is pretty good,
Yeah.
but even then, you
Well,
have
that's the thing,
like
he's
him
n-
doing like pull-ups without a shirt on for
Yeah.
no reason.
He's not. The thing is, he's not a great actor. So as a director, he should have that instinct of like, okay, first order of business.
right.
Don't cast me.
Well, the first one he did was Gone Baby Gone, which he's not in,
Right.
but his brother is.
Yeah,
No, it's great. We'll put my brother Casey in it.
It's fucking
Actually, I like
Affleck.
the town too. Actually,
I
oh,
really
right.
like
Yeah,
The
the
Town.
town
Yeah,
is
the
pretty
town's
goddamn
pretty
good.
That's the one
Never
that
mind. I had to take
Yeah.
back everything I said.
Oh yeah, the town.
Well, not because of him.
Well, yeah, the town was a
Sure.
bummer because it was like the
But-
first time I realized how good Jeremy Renner can
Oh, yeah.
be, and it was just like, oh, this career is going places, and then
Nope. Gets locked in that Marvel trap.
Yeah.
He became the most boring character possible
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every movie that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
What if we had like fun movies that everyone has a good time making, but like there's one guy who's really boring.
just shooting arrows.
Just the things he does, the stuff he says, boring.
He's got
the
a vest.
lamest dude.
Yeah. This next thing isn't really news. It was just there's a picture from behind the scenes of Chapter 2 of It.
Oh,
where
yeah.
he's sitting on Paul Bunyan.
Sitting on the Paul Bunyan.
Which, if
statue.
you read the book, you know that's probably that shit's gonna come alive.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're gonna part of me hopes they don't keep too closely to the book because there was some shit in that book that was downright silly.
They didn't in the first
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not.
Really, the only thing they stuck to was the opening scene with Georgie. Everything else was
Right.
pretty
Well, there were pieces of
pieces, but
Yeah.
yeah, like it was.
So in the in that Simpsons episode where the big boy comes to life, is that a reference to that?
I don't necessarily think so.
Or that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing
don't
that happened?
I actually think it's just a thing that happened.
Okay. Never mind.
I feel like that's more. Yeah, I don't know that it was that much in the. You would had to have read the book.
Yeah.
So it's like not that zeitgeisty. For,
Right,
like, the
didn't seem
Simpsons
like-
to
yeah.
reference,
Right.
yeah.
Speaking of Simpsons, did you guys see that thing where the producer called out an episode where Maggie where Marge says that she's pregnant with Maggie
And
and there's a picture
of Maggie on the.
I have a question about that. Why isn't that Lisa? Why can't that be Lisa?
Because it's clearly Maggie.
Right.
Is it clearly Maggie?
Yeah.
But maybe Lisa just looked like Maggie.
Lisa
when there
never
was a
wore
baby.
that.
Right.
We saw Lisa as a baby, and she never wore the blue onesie
that's
that Maggie
fair.
wears.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, it is definitely clearly them taking the
1000%
animation of Maggie.
Yeah.
But
Right. But yeah, that would be.
it's an easy
It's a
fix. It's
fine
just that,
explanation,
yeah,
yeah.
it's Lisa.
She
Well,
dressed like Maggie once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like that's an acceptable explanation. It's like, oh well, it's a picture of Lisa.
Yeah. But you're right. Like if you
It
looked
also
if you looked
doesn't-
at baby Maggie next to baby Lisa,
Yeah.
they do not look.
They
the
don't
same.
look the same,
even
yeah.
without like the blue onesie or
Mhm,
stuff. Like
yeah.
they're drawn a little different.
What episode was that from? Was that from?
That's and Maggie makes 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's not
do
like
it
a
for her.
newer episode.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything.
dude. Remember you'll be hit forever.
Okay,
It's a good episode.
it is
It's
a
real
good
good. It's a
episode.
real good episode.
Burns the bridge behind him when he quits
Oh.
the power plant. It's such
So
a good
good.
episode.
Oh, God.
I forgot he burns
Oh,
the
my
bridge.
God.
he sure does.
Acid rain again.
Yeah, melts his
I forgot
jacket.
He literally burned the bridge.
is he like laughing or something?
Yeah,
and
he's
he
driving. He throws the
match?
match, and the bridge just bursts into flames.
Oh my god!
No, they make him crawl through a dog door on his hands and knees to ask for his job back.
Yeah,
It's so good.
that's wonderful.
Oh man.
We have one final thing here, which is just that the photos have come out from Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
The most significant thing is that there's a de-aged Nick Fury.
De-aged, two-eyed Nick Fury.
Two-eyed.
Mm.
Is this going to be the hot tub time machine situation where he's going to keep almost getting things in his eye?
I hope so, because there's a in that photo they show us. He has a bandage cut above the eye
You're
that will
right.
be missing.
Ah.
So
So they're going to do a fake out.
Do a bunch of
gonna-
jokes about his eye.
yeah,
But I gotta say, he looks exactly like he does in With a Vengeance. With
He
Die
does
Hard
look-
with
It
a
looks
Vengeance.
really good.
yeah.
And I remember that this was a thing for like X-Men, the third one where they de-age Patrick Stewart.
Yep.
And the way they did that is they just looked at old TNG episodes. And it must be easier with actors who've been in the industry for a while now, especially like yeah, now that the like film is better looking and stuff, they probably have a lot of
Yeah.
really good references where they can just go back.
Well, like in Civil War, young Robert
Right.
Downey Jr. is clearly less than zero Robert Downey
Right,
Jr.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And then Michael
Like-
Douglas, and then
Yeah, yeah. You've
Oh,
got
yeah.
years of Michael Douglas.
I know they tried to do that with Tron Legacy. The technology wasn't there yet, so he what's his name just looks horrifying.
Oh, really?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Does he look
It's
like Tom Hanks in
horrifying.
the Polar Express?
sort of, yeah. It's the
Ray
start.
Winstone and Beowulf.
Yeah, like you see like the start of potential thing there.
Yeah.
But it's horrifying. His face is rubber.
Oh, they're so close too.
Yeah.
Because like the Downey Jr. looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty
That was-
shocking to
yeah.
see.
That one's a little shaken in me,
A
just
little
because
bit,
he's
a little
supposed to
bit.
be a teenager, and it's just like, man,
it's a little
I
bit.
don't-
Some of
yeah.
the
Well-
skin. Sometimes you're like, fake skin.
Well,
And now
it's a teenager, and he's got Robert Downey Jr. voice from now.
right.
right. That's
So-
weird.
Right. It's not like Heart and Soul. Robert Downey Jr.
Mm.
That
Scorsese's
is
apparently
a
doing that.
delightful film.
It's really
movie.
good.
That's all I remember is what's his name, Grodin.
Charles
Charles
Grodin,
Charles
Peter
Grodin.
Sedgwick, Alfred Woodard,
And,
Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
It's just Robert Downey Jr. getting followed by ghosts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real good.
They should.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. River Wild, Heart and Souls.
Souls.
Putting it on the list. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Scorsese's new film. Apparently, he's doing this too, with De Niro and Joe Pesci and stuff. Like, apparently, it takes place in like 3 different eras,
Mhm.
and it's like them as old men, them in like their
That's
40s, and then younger.
Kind
or
of cool.
something.
Like
Yeah.
that. Like now that it's possible to not look laughable and
Right.
not take you out of it. Like that's a cool thing that I hope movies do now. Like
yeah, because it looks good. It's working. The technology is working. So
right, like so you can make a movie that takes
Yeah.
place in 3 different eras and be like, no, you're gonna play all of them.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be better because of that.
yeah, why not?
Or like you don't have to do is it Boy or like the
Boyhood.
Boyhood. Yeah.
uh
Wait for the fucking kid to grow.
That's
right?
the
No, just
practical
like
way
hire
of
an
doing
oldie
it.
and turn
Hire
them
an
young.
oldie.
It was really funny about that movie versus Moonlight, because Moonlight's about someone aging, and it's like, you see, you just hire different actors.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
You just find
did you not
somebody.
know this Boyhood? Like, it's really easy.
Well, that's fucking Soderbergh, right?
yeah.
He-
No, it's Linklater.
Linklater. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah, he did it just because it's his son, and
right.
he
it's
wanted
his
to
son,
say
and he had
could.
the opportunity to do it.
Who I think is now in another movie. I saw him in a trailer. Or
He was
something.
in The Circle.
Oh, maybe that's where I saw him.
Remember?
He's not. I don't want to say he shouldn't be an actor, but it doesn't feel like.
He's not an actor.
Well, yeah, it doesn't feel like the thing he did in Boyhood should make him an actor.
Right.
Right. That was very personal and natural.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like, he acted like for a couple weeks every like 5 years
Yeah.
in his dad's weird home movie.
Yeah.
That was probably very confusing.
Yeah.
That's it for news.
Yeah.
So it's we got a couple movies that deserve more hype here.
A couple? I only saw the one.
I added something crazy at the end.
Mm.
There's this one which I'm personally actually not that thrilled about, but I wanted to include it because it's worth including. It's called Anna and the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It is a zombie Christmas musical.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of zombie comedy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
pretty over it, but I like that it's doing something so just far out.
Yeah, I
Like,
think it seemed like they realized that, like, because even like stylistically, what's the amusement park zombie?
Zombieland.
Zombieland. Yeah.
Zombieland.
In this trailer, when there's that first hit of blood, it's like, oh, you're just doing
Yes,
Zombieland. It
same
looked
here.
exactly like Zombieland. And I think probably like I think people now are like, zombie comedy. It's like, you know, there are only so many gimmicks you can
over
do,
it, yeah.
and so they were like, fine, we're gonna do a fucking musical
Yeah.
instead, and sort of like you said, like go.
Yeah.
Even, like as far as you can,
Right.
in that angle to make it worth making.
And the fact it has a 90% Rotten Tomatoes with like 20 reviews.
Yeah.
So that's unexpected to me. And then everybody's just saying it's like, it is a good musical, and it's like about the characters, and it like, it's just well executed. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah. If it's just a good story and music, and there happen to be zombies there, then I'm
That's-
open to that.
Well, then the thing that appealed to me about Zombieland was the sort of mundanity of it.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, we are so far in the apocalypse now that this is just these people existing now.
Right.
Like,
I could never fully accept that movie because of Jesse Eisenberg, though. And it was
I think he's fine in it.
well,
He is
it was mostly that it was very clear that they wrote it for Michael Cera. It felt like,
Right.
and it was like, man, they just got the next thing they could get because they couldn't get Michael Cera. So it's like
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg just doing Michael Cera.
Mhm. Basically.
Yeah, and so that for some reason that always like took me out of the movie in a weird way. It's really fun though. Fucking Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
It's a funny movie, yeah.
I
Yeah.
got really no beefs with that movie.
No, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it came out when it did, because I feel like if it came out now, we'd be like having the same conversation where it's like, oh, another
Aren't-
one.
yeah,
Like,
they're making a sequel.
They are doing a sequel.
they are
Yeah.
doing a sequel.
And they made that god awful TV show. Do you guys
Yeah,
remember that?
that Amazon.
It was
TV
before
show?
Amazon
Oh, no.
knew how to make TV. Yeah, it was funny as hell. They made a TV show and the budget was so bad.
A shoestring. Budget.
Yeah, and so there's shots. It's supposed to be the apocalypse, but there's shots there in like a parking lot, and there's just like a lot of parked cars, and
Ugh.
like there's clearly signs of activity. Did you ever? It's pretty
very embarrassing.
Did you ever see the movie 444? I think it's called The End of the Earth. It's a Willem Dafoe indie film.
No.
It had the same problem, which is it came out right around Melancholia, which I think people confuse the two. It's about the last day on Earth, and it's Willem Dafoe in an apartment, just like Skyping people and saying goodbye. It's not quite good. But it's a neat idea. But what was funny about it is that every time there'd be shots out the window, you could just see people like going about their day. It's like they did not have much money for this.
Nope.
Or time
Yeah.
to wait for people to get out.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just people like going on errands on the last day of the fucking Earth. Yeah, it's delightful.
That's part of what's interesting about the Zombieland terrible attempt at a TV show was that original film was pitched as a series.
Oh, really?
Right. That's which is, I mean, a fine idea for a show if it's executed well with that cast and has a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, people did like it. We will do the show. Oh, it's bad.
We're just not going to pay anything for it. Yeah.
Oh man. See, I'll watch this movie. The gore looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a fine movie.
Yeah.
It's fun and.
Yeah, and I think if this is something people are into, they're going to really like it. Like if they're not like me and not sick of that genre.
Yeah.
I think this will be fantastic. I think it's probably a really good film.
Right. It always. When movies like this come out, it always worries me a little. Like, okay, so if people like it, what are they going to like? What are the studios going to decide is the thing that people like about it?
We're going to get Frankenstein musicals,
right? Is like what's and but why? Or is it just gonna be like, all right, more zombie movies, but like with a different kind of twist? Or is it like it is going to be vampire musicals? You're right. God, we're
Dracula musical.
We're going to do. Oh God, it's going to be Frankenstein.
I'll watch a Frankenstein musical.
Of course I will. Of course I will.
Why not?
I will go see the Frankenstein musical.
I'm gonna see all their movies.
No stopping
I think
them.
I'm kind of done with horror comedy in general, though, right? Like,
yeah,
I think we've said everything that you can say in a horror comedy.
Well, it's the problem is that the thing it's all rested on the juxtaposition. That's what the comedy always is. It's like, look, it's horrific, but they're being funny about it. They just need to kind of go in different places. Because
I mean, it's also like, I mean, Shaun of the Dead I think is a perfect example of it, where it's done perfectly. It's very smart and very funny, and they do point to all of the tropes and play with them in funny ways, but at a certain point you're like, well, we can't do the trope game anymore. So I would want to see just like a comedy that's written, and like it's a story about X or Y and these characters, and they want these things, and they try to get them, and there are jokes, and their dialogue is really funny, and also there's zombies around,
right? Yeah,
like just in the same way of like Star Wars, like I want to see like do a noir movie, do this, just do a movie in Star Wars,
right,
where the genre is just a setting, it's not what the movie's about. I think these movies are still trying to make them about the genre they're doing instead of just having it exist.
Yeah,
I really like
a regular comedy, and there's a Dracula.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a Frankenstein.
I really like the movie Maggie. I mean, it's not a great movie, but for that premise, because Maggie is that Schwarzenegger zombie film, and the premise is that there's not really, it's pretty much over, the apocalypse. So the idea is that there's not many zombies around anymore, and I thought that was a really good way to do suspense, because the idea is like, you go out, you can still like go out and go and like shop, and like society's rebuilding itself, but you gotta kind of watch out. Like there might be a zombie. That's the idea. Like I think there's one zombie in that movie.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, and like they have like procedures for if someone gets bit now. Like they still can't like save them, but it's like, okay, well you call this number and we'll figure it. We'll come and get you and stuff like that.
You get,
and it's like, it's a part of the zombie apocalypse they never explore, which is like when it's dwindling.
Yeah, when it winds down.
Yeah. And people are trying to get back to normal.
Right, the credit sequence for Shaun of the Dead, but like, what's the movie version of that? Like,
exactly.
How do we go forward?
Yeah, it's neat. It's too bad. It's like that particular movie didn't have enough to say for a whole movie. Yeah,
I didn't even know it existed.
Oh yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger in a zombie movie. Old Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Old
this is like new.
Like, okay.
This is new.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't play an action star. He's like the one zombie he encounters. He's like gets his ass kicked by. Like he's struggling to deal with it because it's the one of the few Arnold Schwarzenegger movies where it's like, he's just an old guy. Like
he's an old guy. He's a man in his 60s.
Yeah, like.
Give him a break.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not a perfect film, but it's worth seeing just because of how unique it is. Yeah.
What's the final weird one you had?
This one's a short film. It's called Prototype, and I just ran into it. It just looks bonkers because it's one of my favorite genres that I've yet to personally experience. 3D experimental films. There's been a few films like this. There's been like a horror film where they did one where like because the 3D at its core, it's just two lenses. And they put them close to each other so that when you look at them through the glasses, you see the same image sort of in a way that creates 3D. But what you can do with those two lenses is film two completely different things if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like a horror movie where you could see, like, if you closed one eye, it was from the killer's perspective and the other was the film.
Oh.
There was movies that, like, they would, like, separate the lenses in weird ways that would fuck with your brain. This isn't that.
I don't love that, but
Yeah.
all right.
But this is a 3D experimental film. It's only playing in New York and Queens, and the Alamo Drafthouse in Austin. And it's, I mean, it's, let's see, I'll read it. It's an experimental 3D sci-fi film that immerses us in the aftermath of a deadly Galveston disaster represented by remarkable and mysterious sights of one world nearing destruction as another emerges. You have to sort of see the trailer. It looks like a 3D version of, and like a better version of, like, the tape in the ring. Like, it looks really fucking weird. Let's see, there was more. It's about post-hurricane in Galveston, Texas. And there it goes like sci-fi in some weird way. This is another description. In one key segment, a curling ocean wave seems to slowly emerge from the screen, although on close inspection it is actually concave, bent inward, like a parchment scroll. Like, this just sounds trippy as fuck.
Yeah, this
Just get really high, and if you're in Austin or in Queens, get super high and go see this fucking movie. It's like 60-something minutes.
I mean, that sounds
interesting.
Yeah, this is one I was nervous about putting this on because it's sort of, you see the trailer and it's all visual, and it really isn't for everybody. It's just a really weird fucking movie. Like, I'm pretty sure there's no plot.
Right.
Well, there's a plot, but it's going to be like it's really fucking experimental. So it's just going to be a lot of crazy ass images flying at your face. It's going to be Fantasia, but probably depressing.
Fantasia's kind of depressing.
Yeah, Fantasia's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Sort of is.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing.
So yeah, I want to include this because it's way the fuck out there.
It does sound way the fuck
out there.
Fucking waves that are parchments.
Yeah.
In New York.
In New York. Forget it.
Way out there.
Get super high. Yeah, it's not even in LA. It's at it's at the Alamo Drafthouse in New York, and then the Museum of Moving Images in New York, which sounds like a hilarious museum.
Yeah,
because that's a pretty broad premise.
Museum of Moving Images.
Yeah, it's moving images. Right. So yeah, that's what I got.
Well, all right. That's a show.
I'll see one of those two movies.
Yeah,
I will definitely see one of them.
I don't think people will be able to see Prototype if they can.
Right.
If you're listening to this and you're in Queens or in Austin, and you're a very specific kind of person,
see that shit.
Right.
Go see it.
Or like in like 10 years after 3D movies are like a thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna watch this classic.
Yeah. The overall thing is the fact, the idea that 3D as a spectacle is like sort of winding down, but like there's experimental directors who realize like there's potential in 3D and doing really creative and weird shit.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that.
Yeah. The hunger for that, it doesn't exist yet, and also like it's hard to go places that have them. But.
Yeah.
Yes. Same with VR. VR is the other thing we talked about it last week, that they're doing film, that weird VR film. Like that's perfect fucking for like indie experimental stuff. Do VR. That's great.
Yeah, and prove that it's worth something.
Yeah.
Take the medium and play with it, man.
Yeah.
Do that shit.
Got it.
Filmmakers.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Well, all right. That's a show, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a show.
Yeah.
Cody, thanks for doing the thing.
Do you have anything to
Thanks
plug?
for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. It's Dr. Mr. Cody. Mr. is spelled out. Doctor isn't. I regret it, and I say I regret it every time.
Yeah.
Also, check out my new show on patreon.com/somemorenews. Same Twitter handle, and our podcast, Even More News, and it's on YouTube. Some more news. It's all there. It's all there.
I wish you didn't. I don't want to put this on you. I wish I got more of the podcast because I burned through that very quickly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's very good.
Thanks. Yeah. We might do twice a week soon, or like eventually we'll get there.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
That's
Cool.
very good.
and then one show a week instead of one
every
2
other
weeks.
That
yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I technically will be into that.
Yes.
I'll have fun doing that.
He's doing very exaggerated air quotes.
Yes. But yeah,
Perhaps you can hear them in my voice. Yeah, well, cool. Yeah, check all that stuff out.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Of
Thanks for coming.
course.
All right.
Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info. Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.